not so sure how things are going to go in, because it's something that when you learn over a period of time, it gets difficult to reverse engineer process all the same and then bring it up in an organized manner in which people can actually go through and observe. But then that was pretty much the challenge that I wanted to take up on. Welcome to episode number. I mean, I've even lost a count on how much of an episode this is. But again, you are here right now. And over the last two live sessions, what we discovered step by step is how did I become fluent in English and how can you can do so too, just by being a little more aware and turning on your antennas on the existing opportunities and environment that you already have. Day before yesterday's live, we focused on the fundamentals and the foundations, the first 30 days of what you need to set in order to make sure that you have the entire English as a language absorption. In the intermediate stage, which is the last live, which I did, I think around an hour ago or so, was all about how can you craft the next 6 months and take that as a foundation to improve your exposure, go through the messy phase. Right now, we are into the beautiful phase, which is after 6 months. Here's what's going to happen if you follow the entire process. You will begin to realize you've done the hard yards, and slowly, slowly, it becomes easy for you to understand things a lot better. You will begin to craft phrases better. You'll be able to describe better. You'll be able to use English in a way that people will understand. Now, as a human being, I'll tell you, we always have this horrible tendency that we humongously self-criticize ourselves. So that's not something that we can take away. Okay. So there's no point going into that same old barrier. It doesn't make any sense to self-criticize yourself. Only thing that you need to keep improving upon is how can you become a better version of yourself each day. Now, 5 years, 6 years back when I started making videos, 2019, back then I was told that I'm way too energetic. I'm way too overpowering. My eyes and expressions and everything pop up. Now, the same thing has continued, but then as and when it is required, I'm able to tone it down. I'm able to tone down the speed. Whenever I'm discussing something serious, I can slow down. Now, this has happened over a period of time. I've not let go of my original full-fledged, energetic dancing manner as well. I haven't let go of any of that. I just know when to switch and play around the different roles as different speakers comes in. And that is what we are going to discuss today in the advanced phase or the expert or the mastery level of becoming fluent. I will guide you step by step on what happened from the moment when I finished that entire 6 months. Here's what outcomes that I saw. So the biggest outcome back then in my college days was whether I'm getting enough dates or not. And guess what? The most gorgeous girl on in our entire college turned out to be my girlfriend, which means I pretty much mastered communication in the best possible manner, isn't it? That's really something to be proud about. And it's not just that. I think the first 3 to 4 months of our relationship was the best period, one of the best periods of my life. We were head over heels for each other. We really uh, gave each other a lot of time, a lot of understanding. We were learning together, teaching each other a lot of these crazy things. We were exploring, watching movies, going out, hanging out. A lot of such amazing things happened. While this entire time, the learnings also continued. So, mind you, back then I was speaking to her in Bengali. However, I had quite a few friends, one in Canada, one in Mexico, one in Germany, and I was speaking to them in English. So the communication just went on. Also, at the same time, because I had joined that public speaking community, I was already speaking more and more. Now, that was when the breakup happened, and then I met Yogeshwari on that very month, a year later, which is, I'm talking about 2020. In the month of Jan, my breakup happened with that lady, and August 2020 is when I met Yogeshwari. So now we are at a position in our life, and she went through a breakup. I went through a breakup. And if you go to watch her lives, you'll get to know her entire story. My entire story is I had a breakup, and that completely shattered me. But then back then, I had a friend from Canada. Her name is Tina. She really helped me to come out from that entire cycle completely. And it's not just that, I started doing a lot of inner work, deep level, mind valley stuff, a lot of reading, a lot of learning, making more videos. Now, the fact that I met Yogeshwari, we only had one commonality, which is the language. She's amazing at English. I have just learned English. So we use that language itself as the one that holds us together. And we realize that if it's something that we are good at, if it's communication, we are already a part of the communication group. The more we speak in English, the better it becomes. Now, already at home, I'm speaking with my brother in English. Now, with Yogeshwari, I'm speaking in English. Two people with whom I can speak in absolute English and no other language. By default, watching movies without subtitles, going through courses and training programs which are completely in English to be able to absorb all of it. Are you able to understand how the combination of speaking, reading, writing, absorbing, listening, every single thing is happening in English? So English became a part of my life. Guess what? When I finished my job, came back to Kolkata, started applying for jobs. The resume I had to make it in English. Interviews I had to speak in English. Interviews I had to answer the questions in English. Emails to be written in English. Uh, every piece of process, whether it's I'm going to the bank to fill in a new bank account, English. If I'm writing a check, it's English. Every single thing related to our life, whether you like it or not, if you're listening to me right now, there's a humongous part of your life which revolves all around English. So whether you have two choices always, you can either choose to accept it, adapt it, and work towards it, or you can choose to ignore it and think of yourself like a handicapped. Now, the people who are not fluent in English, even after going through these three episodes, I'll tell you, they'll just keep finding excuses. They'll keep finding reasons on why you should not learn. So I know so many of my relatives keeps telling me, "Oh my God, my age doesn't support me anymore. I don't have the right mindset right now. I don't have the skill set right now." And I'm like, seriously, this is the best time to master a language, especially if it is English. You go to ChatGPT, the default mode is English. You go to any AI tool, it's English. You go to Google, it's English. You go to YouTube, the major platform is in English until unless you manually change the subtitles or the audio settings and you turn that particular thing to any other language. The default mode is English. So because of that conversation that kickstarted with Yogeshwari, we English literally became our breath. So for me right now, if someone tells me, would you enjoy speaking in Bengali more or English more? I would say it's English. It helps me to connect with people at a far deeper level, although I have maintained that proficiency that if I'm speaking to someone in Hindi, I'm going to use almost every word that comes out of my mouth needs to be in Hindi. If I'm speaking in Bengali, then everything that I speak about needs to be in Bengali. Now that's a habit that I have integrated because I see people speaking. If someone tells that, oh, I can't speak pure English. I mean, you look at a couple of people that I met across, the posh areas of different urban cities. Like they want to speak in Hindi, but they do a mixture of Hindi and English. I'm like, just speak in English. Don't have to work so hard. Now, it's not just about being advanced from there, because from this moment on, when you achieve that level where English is a part of your life, you have to constantly upgrade and adapt to the next level in order to take your English speaking skills to the next level. So for me and Yogeshwari, it started off with creating a Udemy course. Our first Udemy course was built in less than, I think in exactly 28 days, we created 10 and a half hours of content, one full workbook, four meditations. To this date, we look back and we haven't created that level of work ever to this date. Okay, we hopefully in 2026 is when we will be reaching those same standards, and I'll tell you, that's what it takes 6 years in the making to make that happen. But because we created an entire course, this is us communicating to the world. Mind you, the course is still there on Udemy. It still sells multiple dollars every single month. I get a payment from Udemy. It's never stopped since 2020. So when you put yourself out to the world, you obviously prepare a little better. You work a little harder. The workbook needs prep. The meditation needs a script. The videos needs editing. So now there are multiple other advanced stuff, advanced skills that combines with English as the foundation. I need to write the course description in English. I need to record the videos in English. I need to edit and add those little points in English. I need to write down who are my ideal students in English. I need to create the promo video in English. I need to record a short video, long video, multiple set of stuff. The workbook is in English. So the tremendous amount of subtle meta skills or micro skills that adds on just because I've been practicing speaking in English becomes slowly easy. Skills like copywriting, skills like script writing, skills like video editing, all of these, again, mind you, the person who is doing it, the person who is giving the instructions, the cross and inter team member interactions are also happening in English. So when you start showing up for the world, you begin to realize, wow, now that I've mastered one particular language, this is not the end, rather it's the beginning. And the fact that I start adding more and more exposure, the exposure this time publicly, courses, videos, content, reels, uh, podcasts, articles, newsletters, everything is communication, everything is happening in English. That's how it is. Now, as you start doing so, you soon begin to realize, wow, the world is also shaping exactly the way that that it's best for us. It's crazy. So there are apps like Duolingo that obviously, if you're a native speaker, you can learn the same with the other languages as the foundation itself. But for us, we can do it through English. So right now, with the help of English, I'm learning Spanish. I'm learning music. I'm learning math. I'm learning chess with the foundation of English. Now I can even step on to learn. Right now I'm learning Tamil. Of course, not exactly the language part, but I have made a promise to Yogeshwari that without taking her help, without the help of a native Tamilian, a Bong, is going to become fluent in Tamil. To such an extent where people will be like, huh, are you really a Bengali? You speak such amazing Tamil. This is what people say whenever they hear me speak in English or Hindi. The same is going to happen for Tamil. So now that's a challenge that I've undertaken on myself. The fundamental stays the same. Today, I can take a video. In fact, just before this live started, I sent a video to one of the members who signed up for our Speak to Lead cohort in English. You're able to see, again, they will observe that video. They'll be like, wow, Sudeep has been kind enough to send me a personalized video. He did give a heart emoji of whatever it is that I send him, which means he's watched the video, he's responded to it, he's seen it, he's checked it, which means there's a possibility he might even show it to his wife, his children. See, I signed up for a course, and the course instructor, the coach, has sent me a personalized video. Are you able to see the impact of one language if you're fluent at it? It's insane. Now, if I can send someone a video, can I record a reel? Can I use English to pour my thoughts out on an article? Can I create a LinkedIn post? Can I vent out and give my honest feedback to the recent customer care team who calls me up to check in, sir, did you receive your food properly or not? Every single step in your life, when you put yourself out, that's when you're creating value. And because it's in English, more and more of the world will get to notice you. This also brings me one very interesting thought. You look at some of the biggest footballers. So for example, I'll take an example of two. I'll take two examples. Two of the greatest footballers in the planet. Wait, I'll take three of the greatest footballers in the planet. Two, they have completely dominated the previous decade. I'm talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. And then I'll take one more example of this person who literally, he is a legend as well, but his career took off after he turned 30, which is usually the time when footballers tend to retire. For me, he's definitely a legend. His name is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, if you compare the follower count and the fandom for all these three players, Lionel Messi has a lot of fans. However, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Cristiano Ronaldo has a far bigger follower base. Why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo and Zlatan Ibrahimovic knows how to speak fluent English. Lionel Messi, he can only speak fluent Spanish. And that's why there's a big communication gap always. It's not just that. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is from Sweden, so he knows Swedish, he knows Italian, he knows French because he's been there in those different leagues. He knows Dutch. He probably knows German as well. I'm not so sure. Cristiano Ronaldo, he speaks Spanish at home because his partner is from Argentina and they speak Spanish at home. But he knows Portuguese, he knows Italian, he knows English. At least these are the languages I've heard him speak. So the whole idea of them spending their time and effort and energy to be able to learn those languages. Now, obviously, they've got resources. They can hire the best coaches. They have the coaches staying with them at their homes, so they can definitely put in the time in order to learn that. Obviously, do I want to do that? Heavens, yes. I would love to learn, uh, all the major languages that get spoken in India. There's a longer vision to that, but the fact that I'm starting it one by one, like I can right now speak basic Kannada, I can speak basic Tamil, I know English, Hindi, and Bengali fluently. Do you know that it's so easy for me to survive in majority of India and Southeast Asia just because of the languages that I know. Now, just because I have the dreams to travel to different parts. Now, I don't travel as a tourist. I love traveling to immerse, to stay. So now I started learning Spanish so that when I go to the entire South America speaks Spanish. Half of Europe speaks Spanish. Mexico, Colombia, the Northern America, they speak Spanish. Are you able to understand Portuguese? For example, Brazil, the language over there is Portuguese. So that's going to be the next language that I'm going to learn. If I learn Russian, then I have an entire northern hemisphere opened up for me. If I learn China and Mandarin, which means Hong Kong and those entire Chinese countries, and everything opens up for me. That is the impact that I want you to start thinking about as you become fluent in English. You've not just learned how to become fluent in one language and you start creating stuff out of it. You also begin to realize the enormous strength that you have. So today, once Sunsden grows up, can't we run maybe in Bengali, maybe in Tamil, maybe in Hindi? And that is literally three different industries, three different audience segments that we can work with, we can serve, we can help. And that's because we know the language. Now, I can completely understand that there's a lot of AI tools coming out. Translation has become better than ever before. Transliteration is easy with AI than ever before. But tell me something very honestly. Today, if you are traditionally native, you speak Urdu, you speak Hindi, and you are able to speak to me in Urdu. Now, I understand Urdu. I can't read Arabic, but at some point of time, I would love to learn that as well. But then I'm able to understand whatever you're saying. I'm responding in a mixture of Hindi and Urdu. Won't you feel that personalized touch with me? Now, if I want to be a global superstar, the world's greatest trainer ever born, I would I would do anything to make sure that I'm speaking to the people who are talking to me in their native tongue. Imagine what kind of an impact it's going to create. And all of this is possible because I mastered how to speak in English first. When you learn one language and you created enough stuff, you created reels, videos. Like right now, if somebody tells me, Surideep, come on, give me some stuff. What have you learned? I can literally give them the playlist of full-fledged 68 episodes. Crazy. It's only now that I've remembered, 67. Only now I've remembered how many episodes we've done. Okay. I can give them the entire playlist and they can learn. They can even turn the language based on whatever it is that they speak. And now AI, Google has integrated AI, so it'll change the language and all those things are taken care of, including the subtitles. Now, that is what I want you to implore in terms of your advanced learning, creation out to the world, writing more, sharing your thoughts in that language, sharing your perspectives in that language, sharing your beliefs in that language. The upcoming live, which I thought I'll do today, but I'll not do it today. I think today, this entire thing has taken a little bit of a toll. I'll do it tomorrow morning, hopefully. I'll wake up on time. Hopefully, I'll sleep on time today also. Tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing my entire perspective about resignation. When should you resign? How should you resign? What's the process? What are the things you need to keep in mind? That's what I will be sharing tomorrow. Now, mind you, that's a very, very emotional topic. And I will be sharing it in simple English in a way that people are able to understand. Now, just by you listening to my videos or watching these live sessions, the fact that you're watching it, you will slowly begin to adapt the way that I speak. And whether I'm using simple words at times, I'm using complicated words at times. Yogeshwari, I'm so blessed that she's given me the complete freedom not to change my natural style. Otherwise, there's so many people, even within the public speaking group, they're like, you need to tone down your emotions, you need to tone down your excitement, you need to become a more formal approach, you need to shave your beard, you need to groom yourself and all. But she's just asked me to be myself. If you are able to be yourself while you are mastering a new language, you can be yourself all across the planet. People will know you for that. That'll be a speciality, that'll be a uniqueness, that'll be something that you will be celebrated for. And I know for sure that the people who are polylingual, they are respected, especially if you are in India. If people see that, now in India, the situation, because I've had the blessing of getting to stay in quite a few cities across India, thanks to, I don't know, my good gracious luck or whatever you call it. So the northern part of India, not all the way from the northeast, and then coming down to the state of Maharashtra. This entire part of India is when you can survive with Hindi. But that's what only what I thought. Hindi is what everyone can speak. So even if you go anywhere, it's manageable. The moment you come below Maharashtra, things become a little more complicated. In Maharashtra, people, what I've observed is that majority of people will continue speaking to you in Marathi, even though Hindi is the same script. And there's a little bit of a difficulty to understand, but if you can manage, it's all good. But then you come to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they speak Telugu. Now, that those two states and Tamil Nadu, I mean, at least in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, you try to speak in Hindi, they will have their own accent, but they will speak in Hindi also with you. They don't like Tamil Nadu, they don't like speaking in Hindi at all. Okay, they very few people tend to speak, and only the Muslims and all they'll tend to speak in English, in Hindi. But then there's a more predominance of English. Kerala, forget about it. They don't even. I mean, hardly I've seen Keralites speak in Hindi. They only focus on English, and their Malayalam is the language. Same thing for Karnataka. They speak Kannada. Very few people speak in Hindi, and you have to manage in English as well. So overall, the South India experiences, if you speak English, you can at least communicate to a certain extent. But then the language predominance is that much. Now, would I prefer to stay in a country where the entire country speaks one unanimous language? I would definitely love that. But then it deprives me of the opportunity to learn a language through which I can move to other countries as well. So you move to a, let's just say you move to a place like a Venezuela or any of the countries which is not that popular, no, Gibraltar, okay, or Congo, okay, or New Zealand, no, countries that you haven't probably even heard of, okay, in those countries, Finland and all. So English turns out to be a very nice way to just get to know people. But you've got to develop that vision as you continue your practice in the advanced form of learnings. Because now I get to read the books of some of the greatest English writers ever born on this planet. And I'm not talking based on just the language, because the translation and the transliteration can change, but the essence doesn't change. So Paulo Coelho is not really an English writer. His works have been translated, yet I can read because it's the nearest possible translation. Same thing goes for the spiritual texts. So, for example, if you look at the Bible, it was written in uh, what was the language? I'm forgetting. So Bible was written in Hebrew and Latin, and then Quran probably is Arabic. The Bhagavad Gita and all the Hinduism scriptures and all is was in Sanskrit. Now, obviously, you cannot learn those languages, but English, because it's the most popular. In fact, I think Bible. the Holy Bible has this record of being the most sold book in the history of the planet. And that happened because majorly it's in English, it's the nearest possible translation that came in. So just by learning this language now, I have opened up my doorways to knowledge that I can dive deep into in a way that I can read, I can understand, I can share, I can talk more about it. And as I do so, my level as a brand, as a personal brand, as an individual, as I'm growing, continues to increase. In India, especially, I've seen that, especially last couple of years. Okay, now that I'm a doctor, my brother is a CA, it really feels amazing. So we used to feel this before as well when we used to go to any of our relatives' places, and my brother and I are speaking in English, and people are like, "Wow." They'll tell my mom, okay, "Wow, your children speak in English, and that also such good English." And mommy will feel the pride. Okay, now it has gone to a whole new level. Oh, wow, no wonder one son is a doctor, the other son is a CA, because they speak English with each other. So they are literally telling their own children, "Hey, can't you look at them and learn, and can't you speak English?" And it's crazy because our cousins and all, I've got nephews and nieces. So whenever we meet, they speak to us in English. And initially we used to feel very bad because all my nephews and nieces, they've been born and brought up in Germany or uh, London and England and all these different countries all across the world. Look at their exposure. But now we speak more fluent English than them, just with the power of sheer practice. And even now, at this point of time, me doing this live, I have a podcast with my brother called the SM Show. I have a podcast with Yogeswari in our Sun's Den channel. We regularly collaborate on doing lives. We do all our discussions in English. We talk to our clients in English. We talk to our students in English. In fact, English is the language that we use. The language that we use in our Speak to Lead live cohort. Are you able to see what's happening here? English has become the very essence of our existence, the very foundation of everything that we are doing in our day-to-day lives. In fact, we argue in English, we solve problems in English, we diagnose in English, we want to think about something in our respective native tongues, we interact with each other in English, then we are finding the specific translation and then talking to our parents. So when I find it difficult to talk to my parents, I tell Yogeshwari that, see, these are the problems. She will tell me. I make notes. Then I translate that in Bengali, and that's when I'm talking to my parents. Life turns out to be a completely new adventure when you master fluency in one language. It not just opens you up for opportunities elsewhere, but the kind of self-esteem that you get, I mean, it just goes all the way to a whole new level. There are situations in life when I remember I had to take a step up. Maybe we went to build our Aadhaar card, and it takes such a long time to do all those documentation, and you need a lot of patience. Just because they saw that I'm speaking with my accent, of course, when you become fluent in English, it takes a toll on the other languages as well. Although I try my best not to ensure that it happens. When I'm speaking Hindi, I have that slightly Delhi-ish or Marwari-ish accent. That's the way I speak Hindi. When it comes to Bengali, my Bengali is very, how do you say, it's very normal. Like, I don't use any posh words or any of those things. It's a very, very simple Bengali. When I speak in Kannada and Tamil, it's also the same thing. When I speak in English, it's also pretty much the same thing if we are speaking regularly. Although once in a while, at times, some flashy words keeps coming up out of the blue. But otherwise, I speak very, very simple language, always, whether irrespective of the language that I'm speaking. Now, when people see that you are able to have that impact on the accent. So when I'm having a very, very strong English accent, for me, I feel that it's a very, very strong British accent. The moment I speak in Bengali, people are able to sense that the accent has got slightly merged, and it has created some form of an impact because I don't speak Bengali that much. In fact, The only people that I speak Bengali with right now are my parents, maximum my relatives, only when it is necessary. Majority of my time, I'm always in my work, everything is English. A little bit of Hindi, maybe whenever required. But otherwise, at least right now, everything is literally English. Everything is English. So that'll have its impact. And the impact is a good thing. That's what earns you a lot of respect, a lot of plaudits, a lot of other things. Now, what's the next step that we are planning? We are planning different integrations of English and the fluency of it. So we write landing pages. Right now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you'll see a beautiful description in English. I have communicated with AI to help me write that in English. We are in the process of kickstarting our newsletter in English. We have the entire cohort in English, one-to-one calls in English, mind mapping in English, learning different tools. For example, I'm slowly getting hands on to the entire backend end to end. So learning management system in English, creating videos in English, updating instructions in English. Every single micro skill, I'm looking at it as a skill that I'm learning. And just because I know English, it becomes easy for me to learn that as well. And that is how you 10x or even 100x your productivity just by becoming fluent in this one language. Having said that, after humongous years, I think it feels so weird. Okay, the last time I wrote my journal was in 2018, and now it's 2026 is going to start. So what? I think probably 8 years have gone since I wrote a journal. I'm going to start writing, handwriting. I'm not sure how good or how horrible is going to be my handwriting. I mean, cursive writing, I probably have forgot, but I'm going to make an attempt to start writing properly. Let's see how that is going to go. But that is also going to happen in English as a mode of communication to be able to craft my words and organize my thoughts and put it in front. I want to conclude this final advanced segment. If you just remember what all we've discussed in the last three lives, the first thing it begins with is in the intention and the why. So for me, I know that if I am not so good at communicating in English, I will not be able to have that deep bond which I deserve to with Yogeshwari, because this is the only mode of communication. I also know that Yogeshwari is the greatest translator ever born in this planet Earth. So at some point of time, our parents, both the set of parents, are going to know about each other. So uh, if her parents speak in Tamil, my parents speak in Bengali, there has to be one of us who are fluent in all the three languages so that translation becomes easy. Again, because Yogeshwari is the greatest translator ever born in this universe. That's my why, to continue becoming better in English. Now, that's my deepest why. Of course, there are all the other elements like I can communicate better, I can sell better, market better, learn the skills, go through the tools. All of those things are very, if you compare it with that deep why, everything else is very minuscule. Where two people are sitting with each other and they don't even know how to talk to each other. I mean, can you imagine my parents speaking only Bengali, her parents speaking only in Tamil, and the only way that they can interact is through us, Yogeshwari and I. And someone has to take the responsibility of doing the translation properly. So that's it. Once you get that why and the intent sorted, that's when you will see that the doors will automatically open up. But nothing happens just by learning. In learning was all about the first live. Second live was all about exposure and talking to more and more people and the basic one-to-one level in implementation. And then you take it public. You make videos, you make reels, you start talking more and more. In fact, I remember I was watching a Simon Squibb reel, and he asked, as usual, "What's your dream?" And the guy said, "I want to be the most famous English speaker, public speaker from," I think he mentioned the country was Colombia or something. And Simon Squibb gave a very interesting hack, which is very difficult to implement, by the way. He said, for the next 365 days, every single day, make a video in English and put it out on social media. 1 year later, your life will never be the same. Now, he took the advice, didn't do anything about it. There's another person he interviewed, and this person was like, I want to become the greatest news reporter or journalist, but I don't want to pay for a journalism degree. And he told the same thing for the next 365 days, every day, talk about whatever are the news in your own unique manner in English and do it. We'll see what happens. As he did that for 365 days, by the seventh month, he got a, a consulting opportunity from BBC News, which is pretty much one of the world's greatest news platforms, so that they can be his freelancing consulting journalist. And he literally took his, and he funded, BBC funded his dream to get to travel all across the globe and to collect news and report it to them through BBC. Isn't that crazy? So today, the last couple of days, I was not feeling too good. In fact, there was one of the days when I went to sleep at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Next morning, I think it was 12 o'clock that I woke up. Initially did feel bad. Oh my God, for the first time, I missed my live. And it just, I mean, again, I broke down or something, had a mood swing, bought all the chocolates and chips and whatever, whatnot. But now when I'm delivering this, I'm able to explain that to you exactly what happened in a language that you're able to understand, in a language that I'm able to talk to myself. And because I have been mentored by quite a few amazing people in the world, they have helped me learn the specific tonal patterns or the words to use to talk to myself. And all of these things, the self-reflection, the clarity, awareness, uh, emotional intelligence, action taking muscles, upskilling, uh, creating new things, it all has begun to unfold because of this one language in itself. Now, I am giving you every single thing that has happened for me. Now, I don't want you to follow this as gospel. No, never. I'm just giving you an overall blank folder of what exactly is it that you need to do. What are the steps that you need to take? We did that with the basic steps, the first 30 days, then the next 6 months, and then followed after 6 months, what are the things you need to do today in the advanced section. As and when you continue your journey, you will begin to realize what intrigues you more. Is it reading? It's just speaking without showing your face? Is it writing? Is it just interaction? Is it walking up and meeting people? Is it participating in community events? Anything is fine as long as you are enjoying it. And you just keep doing more of it. I'll just take a short little detour here. During my college days, when we were being ragged first year and second year, and that's when, I mean, I got the blessing, the greatest blessing ever, of meeting the district youth coordinator, Suman brother, who to this date happens to be one of my dearest people that I've ever known. He's become the convener right now of Satya Sai Seva organizations, Sai Gitanjali, Bangalore. And he is such an amazing person. He gave me opportunities to speak, to read the Satya Sai literature, to come and deliver those sessions, as in conduct study circles, to talk to more and more people, and everything happened in English. So as and when you pray for something, the opportunities will open up. And as the opportunity opens up, you grab them, you say yes, you do more of it, and you begin to realize that suddenly that one language has started to shape shift, to chisel you, nudge you, maybe improve you, blend you, do so many things to you, with you, that you become a piece of art, the most valuable piece in this world. That is my intention for you throughout these 3 episodes. So I think we've had enough of uh, English fluency stuff today. It's not the usual things that you will hear any English fluency coach or any English fluency expert tell you. Usually they straight away start with grammar, but that's not me. The only thing I touched upon was a couple of examples maybe in last session. Today, I don't think we even spoke about anything related to grammar. Last and final thing would be to enjoy the journey. Even to this date, I fumble, I mess up. You see, so many times during my lives, I will pause and I will uh, cough, I will drink water.